What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about the reasons why um, I view life as a business, and I view life as a pretty much I view life as a school and as a business. The reason why I feel life as a school and a business is because one, human the most things human beings experience is evolving and growing. So school is basically evolving and growing. So from a spiritual standpoint, from a soul perspective, yeah, the human experience is a fucking school because at least that's how I view it. Because one, you're I don't know how it is for every person, but I'm gonna use my life for example. Since my life, part of my life path is to break generational curses and to break generational trauma from my family's bloodline, then part of my life path has to involve healing. So God is going to put me through situations to where I'm going to be betrayed, to where I'm going to be rejected, and to where I'm going to be abused by my family and by, yeah, I'm going to be abused and betrayed by my family and experience betrayal and soul loss when it comes to connections and relationships, right? So that makes sense. So that's why I got to experience it and then overcoming it by healing betrayal, rejection, trauma, and people's projections. So when people have the same life path as me, when they're also meant to break generational curses, they also experience being abused from their family members, and they experience being in narcissistic. They also experience being in relationships and connections with people who are very narcissistic. The purpose of it is so they can heal narcissistic abuse because narcissism is not only a family generational curse, but it's a collective curse as well too. So when you're constantly evolving and growing and healing and experiencing bullshit, yeah, that's pretty much like school because you're trying to learn from it, experience it, and trying to get out of it. Not get out of it, but you're trying to learn from it so you can overcome it. In this life, you go to school forcefully. When you go to elementary school, middle school, high school, and then college is optional. But most skills you want to obtain, it involves learning from it and going to school for it. Like if you want to become a barber, if you want to become an artist, if all those things, like if you want to drive trucks, if you want to be a doctor, all those, even a YouTuber, like all those requires learning skills pretty much. Not a YouTuber. I mean, it depends what you do on YouTube, but and I understand people have talents and all that. That comes to natural, but you still gotta learn it so you can harness it so you can become great at it. So everything in life revolves around school and learning. So life is a school. So it makes sense why as human beings it gets kind of tricky. How I view the human experience as like a test, also somewhat of a punishment, and also a school, and also just a really fucked up low vibrational experience. That's how I view the human experience pretty much. Um, so it makes sense that as human beings, we are in a corrupt world. We are restricted, and we are slaves to the system. So that's part of the fucked up vibration we're in. But I also feel like it's a test because I do believe there's a higher power when it comes to God or the universe. It could be the afterlife. It could be our ancestors. It could be like a higher power. Anything, whatever the fuck the energy is, it's testing us to, in my opinion, to dictate how much willpower we have, how much persistence we have, how much strength we have, and how much are we willing to go through obstacles and overcome it, or to stay stagnant and not grow and evolve. We have the free will to do that. So we don't have the free will when it comes to our life situations, our experiences, and the people we're born into, the people we meet in life situations. But we do have the free will to take action on how we're going to go about it. And that's part of the test when it comes to the human experience. This is why you got time speeding up a lot faster. This is why a lot of people hate their jobs, but they're forced to go to their jobs. A lot of people go through relationship issues, money issues, financial issues, mental health issues, physical health issues, because you're meant to overcome it and to learn how to adapt from it pretty much and overcome it, of course. If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to improve your mental health, if you're trying to improve your connections, if you're trying to heal damn near everything. So that's part of the human experience. That's part of the test. Um, so yeah, so and how evil this world is, how low vibrational it is. I feel like that's also part of a test on how much, if we believe, or how much we can rely on a higher power. It doesn't have to be God or the universe, but anything you believe in, how much are you willing to rely on that in order for you to overcome life's obstacles? And once you do it, your soul and spirit is constantly growing and evolving. So that is why I view the human experience as a fucking school. So now, how do I go about it? I go about it as like the order I'm getting, I'm starting to take life less personal. So so for example, if bullshit keeps happening, when I was younger, I used to be so angry and pissed off, and I used to let it control me, and it was justified. I had every right to be angry and pissed off based on what I've went through and based on what I've experienced, and I have every right to be like that. But as I'm getting older, it's like it is good to acknowledge it and to feel the emotions, but at the same time, I have a tough time of letting it control my life pretty much. So as I'm getting older, as I'm becoming more mature, I'm starting to realize that I can't take life personal like that, because life shouldn't be personal. Take life, I'm supposed to take life serious, but not personal. I'm supposed to take life serious in a way to where like I want to get to where I need to go to. I don't want to settle for something that I'm not happy about. So for example, if I'm want to settle, or if I'm around people who aren't, they don't have my back, who don't love me fully, like my family, and they're harming me, then yeah, I'm gonna take life seriously to where I need to get out of that situation by blocking all contact with them, setting boundaries, moving to a different state far away, or taking action like joining the military so I could get away from them, which I have, and finding a stable job so where I can make income so I could be independent for a long term. You know what I'm saying? So that's the changes. Also, what else? I kind of lost track. My train of thought. I forgot what I was saying. But for example, if I'm living in a certain state or city, but I don't like it, where like there's no beach around here, there's nothing, there's no mountains, there isn't set up to where all the things I enjoy doing. Like for example, I like going to the beach, I like going on hikes, I like being around the ocean, I like going on parks and stuff like that. I like meeting new people. I love communities. But if I'm in a state or city that doesn't have those things, then I'm gonna take my life seriously so I can take action so I can get away from that state and city so I won't be bored and miserable in that state and city. You see where I'm getting at? So that's what I mean by taking life seriously. Or if my mental health is going bad to where I can't sleep peacefully, I can't live alone. I have a lot of codependency. I'm keep attracting emotionally unavailable people or narcissistic people over and over again because of my mental, because of my upbringing, because of my trauma. I mean, then I need to take life seriously so I could do the healing work so I won't attract these types of people in these situations. So that's where I'm getting at. So I can improve my life for the better. And the more I improve my life, the more peace I'm at. And that's the goal in this human experience, to be happy and peaceful, right? So, and to do what you love, regardless of what it looks like. So that's what I mean by taking life seriously. Now, when it comes to taking life personal, not taking life personally, the fact that, at least you don't have to agree with what I agree in, but I believe there is afterlife. I do believe there is life after you pass away. There is life after death. I'm not sure how it works, but I do believe in the universe and a higher power. I do believe in good and evil. So knowing that this shit is real and that there's life after death, like ghosts and spirits, because I've fucking seen them before in my own eyes, knowing that there's life, or there's a possibility of life after death, then I shouldn't take this fucking life personally when bad things happen to me. Because I personally believe God and the universe, they're responsible and they're allowing this world we're living in to be so evil because they're allowing it. Because they're allowing evil forces to rule over human beings. They're allowing it because if God is the creator, if the universe is the creator as well, then they pretty much orchestrated this whole thing. This is why a lot of people like to protest or complain or talk about how corrupt this world is, but there's no real change being made. People are still slaves. People are forced to do things they don't want to do, but they have to do it in order for them to survive when it comes to making money. There's a lot of generational curses. There's a lot of spiritual warfare, wars and battles, enslavement, and stuff like that. But because this has been ongoing for a long time, clearly God or the universe, they're not doing anything to fix this problem, right? So, and the fact that there is an afterlife, then why would I take this shit personally when the human experience is temporary? When the average human being passes away, they die when they're like 50 or 40 or even 60. That's very young. I'm 28 right now, so I got like on average, if the average human being dies like around 50 or 60, then I pretty much have like 30 more years to 50 more years left. And that's not too long. Life goes by fast. So why take life personally when there's an afterlife and that this human experience is very shitty? This world is very shitty. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and even when I'm dealing with a narcissistic people or people who are very evil, people who are very abusive, like my family members that I've experienced, because my part of my life path is to break generational curses and to heal family trauma. So my family harming me physically and emotionally and doing a lot of bullshit, why take it personally? Because God wanted me to experience this shit so I could overcome it and get away from that situation. You see where I'm getting at? So, but take it seriously to where I need to do the healing work to get the fuck away from it and just set boundaries so I can defend myself. So you see where I'm getting at, but not taking it personally because God wanted me to experience all this bullshit. So, for another example, this world is very shitty. There's a lot of corrupt people. There's a lot of corrupt government, but there's no real change being made. And we're forced to work at these bullshit ass jobs because we're trying to make money. Our lives are ruled by